Hey, you guys, this your girl D Love from the South Side, Inglewood for life, Chicago, that is. And I'm down here in the corner, in the far corner. I am here because we need to talk about Brandon Johnson or Mayor Brandon Woke Johnson. He finna get himself in hella trouble, fooling with the federal government. And I mean, he gonna get himself in big trouble. Because see, back in January, Ted Cruz. Now, U.S. Senate Ted Cruz of Texas, the ranking Republican member of the Senate Commerce, and he is the head of the Science and Transportation Committee. And he has escalated an investigation. Republican on this committee had opened about Chicago policy of having migrants sleeping at the airport while they wait for shelter. Did you not know that you can get in trouble for doing that? Oh, yeah, I forget. This is a sanctuary city. When you take that government money, that's like if you at work and you say, I'm going back to school, and you get that money from a job. You can't just leave the job and not pay that money back or that time back. Yeah, Johnson, you're going to get yourself in hell of trouble. Fooling with the federal government. See, because back in January, Ted Cruz, U.S. Senate Ted Cruz, sent a letter to Brennan Johnson and asking him, did you have immigrants housed at O'Hare Airport or Midway? Now, in August, let me say this article is December 1st, 2024. So this situation has legs, thick legs, big legs. And in August, he did not respond, or any of his officials. See, you can see in this article, it says, raises prospect that continued noncompliance could endanger federal airport grants. Oh, Chicago received for the project for O'Hare International Airport and Midway. And Cruz said he can compel Chicago officials to respond should Johnson refuse to answer. They're not playing. They're not playing. Let me tell you, the Republicans, they're gonna come and get. You might be a Democratic state, but the Republicans are in office, and people are tired of this shenanigans, good, bad, or indifference. But you better keep your eyes open, because there's gonna be some more stuff coming down. Watch. Let's see. And okay, so now I know you heard of Tom Homan. Now he's the incoming board Caesar for Trump. And he campaigned on massive deportation of immigrants. Now have you noticed we ain't heard nothing about the immigrants but being bused. We don't know if they still being bused to these cities or not. And they show keeping that quiet. You notice that? And it says they're going to use a powerful weapon by withholding federal funds to states and cities that are run by Democratic governors and mayors. That's Pritzker and Mayor Woke Johnson. And he said he will also be in jail, go to jail, these mayors. And Denver is another sanctuary city. if they block deportation. I'd be like, be like security guard, go ahead. I can't help you. Because let me tell you, I went to Denver recently because I went to see crime. You know, I that was a they lost at that game, but it was definitely an experience. And Denver is very beautiful, very beautiful. I would have never gone there had it not been for Coach Carter. But with that being said, Boulder. I will, but I stayed. I went to dinner at the Yard House downtown. I didn't see no immigrants. That was weird. I was like, where the immigrants at? Because you could see them in Chicago, but you could not see them in Denver. Now you knew, like I had to go to the washroom, so I went to CVS, and first of all, CVS didn't even have a washroom, so you had to go up these escalators, and when you got up to the escalator, you was met by the po-po. I was like, oh, they deep up in here, and a lot of the stuff, it was behind the case. I said, for real, what are we gonna do? All the stuff is behind the case. How are we gonna see something? I was like, let me hurry and get out of here. I'm gonna get a couple of things. And Denver is so much like Chicago in some ways. They have plastic tax. So if you need a bag, you have to pay taxes on that plastic bag, or you have to pay for a bag. I said, no, that's okay. But give me my receipt because I want to get past this police officer. So I ended up going to the washroom at Starbucks. But you got to buy something. Well, that's like here too. You got to buy something in order to get the key. I don't know no big thing. But let me get back on track on Mayor Johnson. You better hear the calls of the people. Now, you know what? Let me tell you something. And I don't know if people really remember this or not, but Mayor Johnson is a Church of God in Christ. So that's why I think he grew up Church of God in Christ. So a lot of his action and his belief are because of that. So, you know, in the Bible, they talk about, you know, you got to, what the, I don't say homeless. I don't know what people call, but in the Bible, they talk about people like that. So, you know, you're not supposed to turn your back. But he turned his back on the people who already live here already. So I don't even know what he's doing. It's like he contradicted himself in regards to the ways of the church and the laws. A walking contradiction. But anyway, so they said over the last few months, the community staff has reached out to your staff on 4 separate occasions. And unfortunately, your staff have refused. I say refused to reply. Is he done lost his mind? I don't know what he be thinking sometimes. Because he better hear the calls of the people. So and he ain't gonna add 4 separate kids and you ain't gonna respond. That's like not filing your tax returns for 4 years and not think the federal government ain't gonna come after you. See, now in this article, as you can see, the grant in question is a federal funding that largely goes to construction projects at the airports. Now in 2024, O'Hare and Midway received $112 million for airport improvement program dollars. And this is Terminal 1. Ted Cruz ain't playing that, honey. When the Republicans get in, they not. Oh, it says, let's see. The source says Republican members are considering prohibiting cities from sheltering immigrants without legal authorization to live in the United States at the airport as a condition of accepting federal infrastructure funds. It's funny after, what's interesting? It always has to take a situation before they go and put these things in order. Because I guess they never thought this would happen, like the PPP loans. Now, Cruz also asked whether federal passengers facility charge. Now that's a fund where funds were used for Terminal 1 at O'Hare Airport or the bus and shelter center at the airport, all of which were used to house immigrants. The facility charge is revenue the airport receives from a fee tacked onto your airline ticket. Sorry, that's my heater. Did you hear that? The money you pay. So with or without, you've been paying for helping migrants, especially in Chicago. Listen, Cruz also made a point of bringing up O'Hare $8.5 billion renovation project, which Johnson brokered with the major airline in the spring. See, when I went out of town, I didn't see all these people. I don't think I traveled during COVID. I didn't get on the plane. Ooh, it says your decision to house illegal aliens at O'Hare is even more curious considering Chicago has been in a contentious month-long dispute with tenants United and American Airlines regarding the future of a new terminal. Although the scenes of makeshift tents, cities, and sidewalks and lobbies of the Chicago Police Department precinct required national attention, hundreds of migrants were also housed at Terminal 1, where asylum seekers who arrived in Chicago via plane waited to converted beds in the city. Overcrowded shelters at a peak in October by 850 migrants sleeping at O'Hare Airport. Now that's according to the city daily census, but that could be tampered with. They say 30 stayed at Midway. And Biden didn't do jack. He ain't say nothing. The crisis diminished early this spring. Following an executive order from Biden that cracked down on border crossing. So they slowly stopped that border crossing because they knew they were spending too much money, and because of the election, they knew that it was going to be a reason why people voted for a Republican and not a Democrat. Let's see. And did you know? Side note, I didn't notice though that that the sanctuary city came from Mayor Harold Washington. He was the one who enacted that. But anywho, the showdown between Cruz and Johnson isn't the first time in Chicago. Mayor has gone up against Republican in Washington over Chicago's sanctuary city status. The then Mayor Emanuel, Rahm Emanuel, sued Trump Department 2017 after it withheld grant from Chicago. Emanuel prevailed. That means he won through the legal fight. Was largely symbolic because the amount of money at stake is a small fraction of the city police department. It is 1.5 million that he wanted to use for shot spotters. And that's interesting too because Mayor Rahm Emanuel, he needed that money to pay for the shot spotter, in which Mayor Woke Johnson, he decided he canceled it. I heard today, and allegedly, because I couldn't find it, but I heard someone was talking about it today about how since ShotSpotter has been gone, um, they gave a they said 20 people have been unalive, but they said speculate more, but you have to go on what they tell you. Yes. So okay, so back to this real quick. So yes, Mayor Woke Johnson, you need to adhere to the people because I was watching your people at the meeting today, and they were going ham. They were going ham on him. I mean, I was like, oh my. They talked about Mayor Johnson. They talked about his wife. They talked about some older woman and said, call her something. I said, whoa, they call her I'll say a streetwalker just in case for, but you can go and, yeah, and look at the video and the, mm, oh, was it public comments? And it's like, whoa, people tired. People are tired because a lot of money has been wasted to people who didn't put money into the pot. So you kind of gave away the money, but you didn't give the people who put the money in the pot nothing. You decided that you was going to make the best decision for everyone, but really it wasn't the best decision for everyone because a lot of people are displaced, can't afford the rent in the Chicagoland area. There's homes in the South Side that are abandoned and vacant lots. Um, there's crime that is out of control in Chicago, and you not putting the money, or the police don't feel that they're being supported by their police department. I don't know how he got in there, but I'm pretty sure he won't stay in there until he understands. And let's go for him and other politicians. You are not more than the people who put you in these jobs. Stop acting like your nose is turned up and you just like we're the peasants. No, you're there because the people put you there. You might get 4 years, but you may not get another 4 years. So stop being an butthole. All of these politicians that are doing things that are against the community that put them into office. Where is the balance in your forehead? Like, who told you it's okay to keep doing and treating people like you do? And especially the ones who pay their property taxes. How do you take the money and do what you want? Let's also start with these uh, red light cameras, and you want to put more red light cameras up. How many people you expect for them to live if you steady putting cameras up? They can't afford it if you steady paying tickets. You can't do what you want to do to take care of your family because if you, God forbid, if the car in front of you, um, if the car in front of you go and you get caught in the middle, what do? You can't fight it. You fight it, they still gonna make you pay for it because they got to get the revenue up. What are you using all that money for? Chicago has more money, a lot of money, and so much money coming in that they are not using it wisely. You can't tell me that all those big buildings downtown are not, and the employers are not paying taxes that goes towards the city. What are you doing with the money? The money has to be counted for. The math has to math, and the math is not mathing, and that's for all of these communities that have these democratic parties. Man, my value went down. They have all these Democratic politicians. They like was it crabs in a barrel? Like stop smelling yourself. These are real people with real lives and who pay real taxes. Everybody is paying towards this who lives in these communities. If you own a property or not, you're still paying because you gotta live in these communities. And if you rent, you gotta pay the money to live in the community. Who do you think you are? Like these especially you black. Say you black. Politicians, like y'all are some a-holes the way y'all been acting. And as soon as election time, I mean, as soon as election time, you will see your alderman at your door. Or you see the mayor who wants to become a mayor or some kind of trustee or whatever at your door, or all your little commercial. Election does not start on the month or in the month of the election. The election starts for the new election as soon as you get into these offices. You need to, especially you African American, because the Hispanic got their own community and they seem like they have any problem. But you African American community politicians need to take some notes. You're wrong with a lot of this stuff you're doing. You're wrong. When you kick people out of their own city hall meetings, but then when you run for your seat, you say, "Well, I'm running on transparency." Could you hell stop talking about this transparency in your political voting, trying to get into office speeches? We're tired of hearing that word. That word is enough is enough. Cut it out. Put some real facts and put some real effort behind your words. All these politicians are going to jail, and I named in my previous my video that they're going to jail for doing things that are illegal. People been going to jail in politics, and this ain't the first time, so you should know better. As much as your ancestors have fought for you to be where you are at now, some of you politicians should be ashamed of yourself. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Some of y'all should be ashamed of yourself. I ain't crying. I just got allergies. Don't get it twisted. I said what I said, and now you're gonna have to have the white man put y'all in y'all place because y'all don't know how to act. See, y'all went for Trump. Yeah, baby, he coming back at you. And he gonna come back harder. Y'all gotta put him in jail. He coming back for y'all. Trust me. Y'all not being slick because y'all in these high positions and you think you can do what they do and think you can get away with it. It's not acceptable. And more people should stand up and tell these politicians it is not acceptable on what you are doing. I see that in my own community. Small number of people come out, but more people need to come out and stand up for what's right. And a lot of the people who are the politicians who are in these positions have gone to college. So your ancestors would have been proud of you because you have moved the needle. But you now have moved the needle 10 steps back because you have now become arrogant and disrespectful. Now, there's some like Tiffany. She said she's been to college, but I don't know. I haven't seen any proof. I didn't see no papers on the wall, so I don't know. But you other ones who got there by doing the things you needed to do and not just because you just got by circumstances by chance. And like they say in the Bible, it ain't by chance you here. So start thinking and being the best politician for everyone, not just for the blacks, but everyone. Everyone. Because you're here. This is a shame. A lot of us African Americans, we look crazy out here now. People think we're just a reality show, a walking reality show. Somebody should be embarrassed. Somebody should be embarrassed. African American community has now become a whole walking reality show. You can look at your city, your town, your neighbor. and on the news. All you see is Black people in the news lately, in trouble for one reason or the other. We are a walking reality show. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And at some point, we're going to get tired. But we can't get tired because we have our kids, our grandkids, our great grandkids who are going to take over. And if they see all they see is us being irresponsible, not being professional, and also be trying to get over, they're going to be like, oh, this is the way we do it. But it ain't the way we do this. We better than that. We better than that. So, I didn't mean to get on my soapbox, but I just get tired of hearing all this crazy stuff on the news. And every time I look up, a Black person is in the news. It's all across the board. Entertainment, sports, government, business. If you hold a certain bar caliber, one reason or another, they're looking to attack you and to come and get you. Don't be one of them people. If you ain't done right by now, today is a good time to start. Make a change now to be better, but not be arrogant in your thoughts and in your rulings. Think of balance. I know that's hard for some of y'all. Balance. Well, I ain't gonna hold you. So last note, Mayor Woke Johnson. Oh, I got lit. You got work to do. You got a lot of work to do. Because if you can go home at night and hear the people in your community and not take a heed to what they're saying to you, that means you need to be recalled. That's what they should have done. They should have recalled Mayor Johnson. That would end all that problem. You ain't gonna do right? We got you. Don't play with nobody's money. So, well, this your girl D-Love from the South Side. Just another video dropping it down. And I'm gonna holler at you later. Yeah, I'm gonna get a new intro.
D-Love from the South Side, let me take you for a ride. Straight out of Inglewood, where the real ones thrive. No filters, no fear, just truth I ignite. No apologies, just me shining bright. These vibes and a little insight. Gonna keep it real day or night. Tune in, lean back, and you'll see. It's D-Love, just me, how it's meant to be. 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 D-Love from the South Side, let me take you for a ride. Straight out of Inglewood, where the real ones thrive. No filters, no fear, just truth I ignite. No apologies, just me shining bright. Stories, vibes, and a little insight. Let me keep it real day or night. Tune in, lean back, and you see. It's D-Love, just me, how it's meant to be. 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 D-Love from the South Side, let me take you for a ride. Straight out of Inglewood, where the real ones thrive. No filters, no fear, just truth I ignite. No apologies, just me shining bright. Just me, how it's meant to be. D-Love, just me, how it's meant to be. Just me, how it's meant to be. D-Love, just me, how it's meant to be. D-Love, just me, how it's meant to be.